Good morning, everyone. So we're at it again. Today I am going to be canning kabasha squash. It is my favorite squash of all the squashes out there because it reminds me a lot of the Spanish la llama from Dominican Republic. This one to me is very close to that. So one of the things, and I already have my husband cut this for me because it's just too hard. But one of the things to remember when you're picking this, make sure that this is really nice and brown. And the bottom, let me see if I find one with the bottom so you can see what I'm talking about. I cut them all off. But anyway, the bottom and the top should be nice and brown. When you see any hint of green, it's not fully ready. So if you pick one like that, then you may want to let it sit in a cool place in your garage somewhere for a little while until it gets brown, and then it'll be ready. So all I'm doing right now is chopping it up and putting it in my quart size mason jars. And I'm not sure, but I think I'm going to be filling these with chicken broth. I like the flavor of it instead of just plain water. And then I'm going to can them for 90 minutes at 11 to 13 pounds of pressure, in between that range. But I will bring you back when I am done cutting these. Now, let me just show you. Here I have all the scraps, the seeds and everything. Normally I save the seeds, but I have so many seeds. What I do with this is I just freeze it until I'm ready, and then I go and dig a hole in my yard and I bury it to promote good soil. Okay, so nothing goes to waste. Hey guys, I wanted to point out that the thinner pieces like these, I put them separate and I freeze them so I have them ready. Because when I make arroz con pollo, I like to put some of this in there, or habichuela guisada is the way my mom used to make it, and it's delicious, which is pinto beans or whatever beans. You can add some of this to it. It's really, really delicious. I also use this for my lentils. When I make the lentils, I like to put this in it as well. And the reason I put these thinner, because I don't want it to get mushy in the jar. The other thing that I wanted to mention, normally they say you should boil these for about 10 minutes and then you can can them. I don't do that. I don't find a need to do that. And the reason I don't do it is because I also don't want my squashes to get mushy. So that's why I choose to just put everything in at room temperature, my broth and everything, put the water in the canner also at room temperature, and let it heat up on its own. Now, my jars have been disinfected. I ran them through the dishwasher, and all I'm doing, like I said, is prepping. Okay, guys, so I just want to show you that I went ahead and I added vegetable or chicken broth up to here, and then the rest in water up to here. I did go ahead and make sure that I took all the bubbles by moving everything around so there's no bubble, debubbling the jars. And then I went ahead, I have here my warm water with vinegar, and all I did is take a paper towel, wet it, and clean the rims as you see me do here. Now, I will also say that these 5 quarts I utilized like 2.5 of the kabasha squash. Gave me this many, gave me 5 of them. And then the rest I have here that I'm going to freeze. I'm sorry for the mess, you guys. But now we're getting ready. Now I'm going to get my lid so I can close. Oh, I'm only doing this other one because I have some of the broth left. So I'm going to can it as well, as you see me do here. And then all you're going to do is do this finger tight, okay? Like so. Don't overdo it. Just finger tight. When you feel it, there you go. It's done. Now we're going to load our canner. Here we go. Okay, guys. So the next step is we're going to put our lid on our pot. I've checked that all of my valves and things are working properly. I blew air into this. I normally make sure that all of these components are working when I'm done canning and I'm washing my canner. I check for everything to make sure that everything's working. Okay, so now we're going to put our lid. It's very important that you look at this here where it says open and close. You have to match this to this. See that? So we're gonna put our lid like so. This is on, and then all you're gonna do is pull it over this way. And what we're going to wait for is for us to have a steady steam out of this valve here. Once we have a steady steam, put our timer for 10 minutes. After the 10 minutes are up, we're going to add our weight regulator here. You guys, I don't know if you can see the steady steam. I'm fine. Now we're gonna go ahead and give it 10 minutes. Once our 10 minutes are up, then we'll put our weight gauge on. The timer went off, and now it's time to put our weight gauge here. And then now all we're gonna do is wait until this reaches 10 to 13. In between is fine for me. From 10 pounds of pressure to 13, I normally keep it at that range. Once it reaches it, the pounds of pressure that I'm looking for, then we'll start our timer to 90 minutes. So we have reached the temperature that we want, the pounds of pressure that we want. So I'm going to lower my heat, and for my stove, when I put it there, it stays at that steady pounds of pressure, so I don't need to worry. Now I'm going to put my timer on to 90 minutes. So now we're in 30 minutes. And that's it. And now we wait. Hey guys, so the canning is done. I turned off the heat. And now we're just gonna let it cool off on its own, and then I'll show you what it looks like once we okay guys, so now we got zero pressure. Everything went down. So it's safe to open. See? Safe to open. So we're gonna open it up and see what we got. Guys, so where we are, here we are. I have the feeling this one cracked only because it's kind of lopsided, and I see some discoloration in the water, like yellow. So I think this one is a bust, which really makes me sad, but that happens sometimes, you guys. Yes, ma'am, it sure did crack. Check it out. Look at the bottom. See that? This is no good, obviously. It goes in the trash. All the other ones are fine. But yeah, I'm disappointed. But honestly, that's never happened to me before. I'm gonna figure out what went wrong. It could have been that that jar was a little bit weak. Who knows? But in any case, here you have it all done. I love this because if you wanted to, you can eat it just like that with the broth. Or you can take it out and mash it up, or you can use it for soup. There's so many ways that you can use it. But anyway, my broth did good, so I am very happy so far. I did lose one, but the blessing is I didn't lose all of them. Have a blessed day, and thank you for watching.